Cheeto left with the groin, did not return. So we'll see what that looks like next week. At the end of the day, I've not done a good enough job. We're an 0-3 football team. I'm an 0-3 head coach. It's embarrassing and disappointing. I've got to be a lot better than I've been, and this is frustrating and unfortunate, and not what I thought we were capable of to start the season. And at the end of the day, can't continue to have turnovers like that on offense, even though we had 7 more points to another team, and they did a great job possessing the football. We got 3 possessions in the first half, and we scored on one of them. We threw an interception for a pick 6 on the other, and the other 2 we went 3 and out. And we're not consistent enough anywhere offensively. We allowed too many explosives on defense. We still haven't got a turnover. I think we're probably going to be dead last in turnover margin by a long shot at this point, and that's going to lose you a lot of football games in the NFL. We're not good enough on either side there. We don't protect it well. We don't take it away. We allowed we had too many yards rushing. We had some tackling issues early. We settled down, and then had to get in a drop back situation at the end of the game in the second half, as we didn't find much success on the ground versus a good front, and the 8 sacks was the result. So ultimately not good enough anyway.
So Petit Frere was not injury related?
It was not.
What happened on was pick 6? Just got stuck looking at it for too long there?
No, I mean it wasn't really late. It just Jair jumped it. He made a nice play. That's an all-pro corner, and he jumped the route and took a chance on it and made a really nice play. Timing-wise, it wasn't anything wrong with it. He just sat on it, and that happens sometimes. So that's not something I'm mad at Will about. I thought everything there was fine. He just made a good play.
Does the sacks in a row, Jeff, sacks? Sometimes they're overloaded. Other times, there's other things from your perspective. What was going on there?
Everything. We try to keep guys in help. We try to keep 7 and 8 protection. Some of it was good. Some of it didn't work as well. We lost some one-on-ones. That's ultimately what happened a few times. We got ourselves in some 3rd and longs in a spot where I didn't feel like just calling a quick game on 3rd and 14 just to get the ball out. I was trying to be competitive. The game wasn't over. And so we were in some tough spots for pass protection in general. When you're in 3rd and 12 and 13 and 14, it's difficult. Tried to call a couple screens, and those didn't work. Those didn't get off. But yeah, it's frustrating.
2nd week in a row, Jeff's had a penalty that ended up costing you 7 points. Are those both discipline issues?
I don't think so. I was surprised that they called that. I haven't seen that called very often. I didn't. Again, they call what they call, and they see how they see it. But yeah, that was a big momentum shift. We had him off the field with a missed field goal, and that's what it is. We can't have those are critical penalties. That's 2 weeks in a row. Again, I can't attribute those to discipline. I was surprised that he got called, and it is what it is. But those are the mistakes that we're making right now, and we just can't quite find a way to create ourselves a break. In this league, you make your own breaks, and we haven't made any of them. It's a hard thing to swallow.
Sorry, in 2 years here, in this time here, Malik never has looked anything close to that. What's it say about your defense that he's capable of looking like that?
Yeah, Malik did a nice job. I tip a cap to Malik and that offensive coaching staff. We let them get into a position in the game that was beneficiary to them, and they made a couple nice throws. Malik's a very capable quarterback. I think you guys saw his improvement here over the course of training camp. He is capable, and they had him in a good spot most of the game. They didn't have to do a lot. They ran the ball well, and he made a couple big throws, which again, every NFL quarterback should be able to make. And he did a nice job, so we didn't do a good enough job.
He's capable, but you guys judge him to only be worth a 7th round pick. So for a guy that you judge to be worth that little, should he be able to do that? And he was doing stuff to you before the game was at hand, 1st, 2nd drive.
He played well. I don't really have anything else to add to that. I think Malik's a good football player, and they did a good job with him.
That 4th down play at the start of the 3rd quarter, was that designed for Will to keep it, or did something break down and kind of?
It was a roll pass, and there was a little high-low. He had a shot to come back. We call it low-high-low, where you take the low first, check the high, and then come back. And Tony was there. He made a decision, thought he could get it. I couldn't quite tell where he was at, where I was standing. I was behind the play. But yeah, I thought we had a chance on the first one too. They called timeout right at the snap. I thought that one was going to be a good play, and they called timeout right as we were snapping the ball, unfortunately. So I was trying to get a spark. I was trying to get us going. I didn't want to just punt the ball. And once I saw it was 4th and 1.5, I felt like that was a distance we could go for it. And it was aggressive, but we needed something to get moving and get back in the game. So our defense did a decent job. They held up and only gave up 3. So I don't regret it. I don't regret the call. I just missed opportunity.
You gotta watch film too, though. You see a lot of missed tackles. How much of a factor do you think that ended up being?
Yeah, it was huge in the first half. They just felt like we never really had the ball early. They chewed up a bunch of yards and clock with some missed tackles. Certainly, too many rushing yards, too many tackles, too many missed tackles. I think at the end of the day, for us to, for a team that we knew was going to play like that, just didn't come out and execute well enough. And we had a good week of practice. I was confident in how these guys looked and the plan looked, and felt really good about where we're coming into the game. And so far, we're over, and that's not something that I anticipated.
How much did Malik's ability to convert on the third downs there, especially in the first half, hurt you guys on defense?
Yeah, those are critical. I mean, you get him in a third down situation. He did a few of his legs. He did a nice job. That's what he's done. That's how he's played well in the league. He's using his legs and doing that, and he did a good job. And we couldn't get off the field, and it allowed him to chew up clock and chew up time. And again, they did a nice job.
The pick six, would you categorize that as being aggressive and trying to make a play, or a stupid mistake?
I think that was just normal. That was just a normal throw. I mean, we just threw a hitch route to the boundary, and Jair jumped it. And those things happen. And if you feel like the corner's that aggressive to it, you can move on. But that wasn't a stupid mistake at all. Actually, Will did some really good things in this game. I thought we just got to do more of it, and we got to do a better job protecting them.
So going forward, you're still firmly put on him being your quarterback.
Oh yeah, there's nothing. I mean, we got to play better around him. Again, I'm not going to overreact to an interception. Those things happen. Guys throw picks. We just can't give it to their team. We keep giving up points the other way. It's killer. It's hard to overcome. We've not played a complete game in any phase at any point yet. We're capable of way better than what we put on the field the last 3 weeks, and no one's coming to save us. So we got to figure it out.
Even though nobody, not everybody's putting it all on Will, what do you say to him with all the turnovers, the rash of turnovers that have happened over the first 3 games?
We gotta get fixed. And whatever that looks like, however that looks, it doesn't really matter. You just can't. We can't lead the league in turnovers to the quarterback position and expect to win a lot of games. So that part has got to get better.
When you go down the laundry list of all the issues that you brought up, and you said not really good enough anywhere, as a head coach, where do you start at trying to get this thing back on the right track?
We got to do the fundamental things right. We got to tackle well. We got to protect the football. We got to find a way to take it away. We got to pass protect better than we have. Our defense has played pretty good through 3 weeks, but they had some moments today that I don't think is up to their standard. So it's fundamental things: it's staying in gaps and making tackles and protecting the football. And we'll start there, and hopefully it looks better.
What would you say on the scoring drive? What would you say the disconnect has been between the Petit Frere you saw making progress in training camp and the guy who's been struggling these last couple of weeks?
Don't know. I don't know what the disconnect is. I felt like he had a pretty good camp, was in a good spot, and thus far has not been good enough. And the game was tough, game script wise, got out of hand a little bit. They got their pass rush going. It's a really good defensive front. We knew what they were capable of doing in the pass rush, and we put ourselves in a bad spot as well. And that makes it hard when you're going to drop back and they're up 2 scores. You get to pin back and play. That's the dream scenario for them with the way that they're playing football, and they did a great job, and then we didn't. So that's about the best I can answer.
Where do you go from here at right tackle?
We'll see what JD can do. We'll come back and we'll see where we can get better. But at the end of the day, JD came in. I don't know. I can't. It was a tough spot to go in, so we'll see. But yeah, I think that job is not solidified by any stretch.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Got 2 others here right behind him.